Hey guys, Kev here, and I am going to talk about the Manix 2 today. I got this one in as a loaner from Frankie. Shout out to Frankie over at DWM_EDC on Instagram. And I got my LaCroix here, coconut flavor. I also have one other Manix too. This right here is the normal Manix 2 with carbon fiber scales on it. This one was sent to me by my good buddy Kyle, DTOM Knives and Gear. And this is an interesting knife, guys. I have to be 100% honest with you. I don't like it. So I'll tell you my reasons why. So first off, with this one right here that Kyle sent me, I was kind of excited to try a regular one with, because I've heard the lightweights maybe don't have the best action and everything. And I got this in and I was like, oh yeah, I don't know, try it. And I go to disengage it, and man, this thing is stiff. Like, this lock bar is stiff. It has lock stick, right? And because I'm left-handed, I can't grab the clip. So like when you're right-handed, when you go to close this, you put your fingers on the clip to get leverage, and then you can squeeze the lock and it drops down, right? And it works pretty well that way. Even though I still don't like this ball bearing lock at all, it works, right? But left-handed, I don't have that clip. And I went to reverse it. I literally looked inside, and you can see the three kind of holes there. And I went and I undid the three screws, and I took the clip off and I flipped it over, and I was like, oh crap, because it wasn't tapped for lefty carry on these on these scales. So they must be aftermarket scales, which I did think initially when I unboxed it, because it doesn't look like that crappy like carbon fiber G10 peel ply stuff that Spyderco uses a lot. So my biggest issue with this specific knife is I have no leverage. So I'm, trying to close this lefty is really difficult because it slips. This slips out of my palm. So that's normally where I would lock it in with my palm and then go to do this. And you see how it kind of just slides out all the time? So it's not reliable at all. I couldn't just be doing this like whenever. Like it's just very difficult. And this one is reversible, so I went ahead and did reverse the clip on this, just see here. But it's so stiff on this lock that, it's just not fun. I've tried tuning it a little bit, and I don't know. I mean, I'm the kind of guy who, if I'm not going to, like, enjoy something, I'm just going to not use it. Like, I'm not going to torture myself and carry this knife. Like, yeah, I love to review knives for you guys, and I want to give you my honest opinion, but at some point, I don't want to just waste my time and waste my, I'll call it my pocket time. I have a lot of knives here that are either mine or are loaners that I'm trying to get through for review, and I want to enjoy the knives I carry, and, there's just some that they don't work for me personally, and I kind of just, I carried them, I carried this one once or twice, and I think I put this in pocket one day around the house. So it's not like I haven't carried them at all. I'm sure people have reviewed knives on less, and I'm not really doing a review here, guys. I'm going to call this a first impression / overview. It's not fair to call it a review, I'm always honest about that. I'm honest about my use and carry with the knife. I'm giving you my opinion, and I'm basing it off of my experience, and I'm laying all of that out for you, so you can make your own decision on whether you want to take what I say or not, right? And I would take everything I say with a grain of salt anyway, right? So let's just look at the Manix 2, right? I do like the overall shape of this knife. I think it's a pretty cool looking design. It's actually one of the few Spyderco like Golden Colorado models that stands out to me. I usually kind of go for the Tai Chung ones that are a little bit different. Like, I really liked the Watu last year. The Kapar is a cool looking one. Obviously, I have the Bombshell here, aka Danger Pickle. This is my favorite Spyderco knife, hands down. I also have the Chaparral. Where are you, little guy? Where's that little guy at? Oh. No. He's not in my back pocket. Huh. Guys, I think I lost the Chaparral. Oh, it's right here. I thought I put it here, like, for this specifically. This is the Chaparral, and I thought so. This was made in Taichung, Taiwan. Actually, I'm really liking this, guys. I recently got it, unboxed it. It's not very fidgety, but I've kind of figured out a way to make it sort of fidgety. I really like this one. So, this has that shit carbon fiber G10 overlay stuff. I really don't like that stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, it's a cool looking one. One of the best coming out of Golden, Colorado, along with, oh no, the Sage series is also Taichung, right? So, I don't know. I guess maybe the Para 3. I like the Para 3. So, I don't own it anymore because of the compression lock, but there you go. So maybe this is my favorite one coming out of Golden, Colorado, guys. I just like this leaf blade shape. I like how it has a pretty long blade on it instead of, you know, what you get normally with them is like short. You get like no blade length, and then they give you the choil, and then you end up with even less edge. It's just, you know, and this has a good amount of edge on it. So I really do dig that. I dig the shape here. It has a good point on it. This leaf shape is gorgeous to me, and I love the hole on this guy. And then, of course, it does have that finger choil, classic Spyderco. You gotta love that. So you could choke up like this, get into good slicing motions there. You can also hold it back here, and the way it's cut out with this groove, this hump, and back here, it actually fits my hand very well like that. But with most knives that have a finger choil, I will just choke up. This is how I will always hold the knife. It's rare for me to hold a knife with a choil back here because I have this in between me and the edge, and I don't know, I just don't like that. Like the Vox F5.5 here, I just always go right to the choil. I never hold it like this. This is kind of weird, actually. I always just end up going like this. Still working on getting the last one, guys. Trying to convince Lavender Pants to sell me his. So if he hasn't done it by now, you guys should definitely reach out to Lavender Pants and tell that guy, dude, sell me your F5.5 and Netro Micarta. Ah, I'm just kidding. Don't do that, please. He's a great dude. And I'm messing around completely. All right, anyway. So, leave it to me to bring the F5.5 into a Spyderco Manix 2 overview, right? This one here has the FRN handles in gray because it's the Maximate. So you'll see there, Spyderco, Maximate. You'll see here, Golden, Colorado. Does it say USA Earth on this one? Yep, USA Earth. So, and then you have the little Spyderco tick, right? But yeah, this one's in Maximate. This is my first time checking out Maximate. Obviously, this is not my knife, so I'm not going to figure anything out about Maximate. It hasn't rusted, patinaed, or anything like that. This is a brand new knife, I believe. That's partially why this is so stiff. And it has loosened since I got it. Actually, guys. Now, you see, yeah, I'll get back to that. But it has the FRN, has the Spyderco wire clip, but this one's different. So this is not a loop over wire clip that Spyderco usually does. Chaparral, here you go. Chaparral has this wire clip that's loop over deep carry. This one is not loop over. So I wouldn't classify this as deep carry. This one is deep carry. I mean, it goes to the end of the knife, not up here, but I mean, come on. So, yeah, you have that. It's a little bit strange. So you end up with this much sticking out, which is not bad for a knife this big, right? All good there. You have that lanyard hole at the end there, which is nice and big for you guys who like ginormous paracord. Have fun with that. And then if we go over to this guy, we have the same blade. Obviously, this really cool leaf shape. Again, this one here is going to say Spyderco S30V. Golden, Colorado, USA, Earth, tick, hole. Got it, right? Then we got the carbon fiber aftermarket scales. As far as I know, they're aftermarket. I don't know why Spyderco would do one without reversible clip. So they usually do 4 positions. So this has the spoon clip on it, which I absolutely hate. So another check mark in the negative category there. One thing I noticed about this one is there's a lot of this strange jimping all over the scales. You'll see on this guy, it does kind of have it. Okay, so hold on. You see this, like, kind of jimping right there, and then it's up here. It's on top of the blade. It goes down here. Like, this stuff is just everywhere. And to me, it makes the knife look cheap. It kind of looks like, it just makes me think of, like, chain link or like a biker gang or some shit. You're like, I don't know how to explain what I'm saying, but it makes me think like this goes with a chain wallet, you know, like something like that. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but here is the FRN, which also has it. You see that? It has it like, but it's cut in a little bit more. It's less noticeable on this one. So I actually like that better on this guy here. So those are the 2 knives. You also have a huge lanyard hole here, or lanyard tube, and that is really it. So, you know, your major differences are obviously the scale material and the clip, right? And then the steel. So, pretty good differences between a lightweight and a regular one, and that's kind of cool. So you can have both and not feel like you have redundancy. I mean, they're different knives, but you have the same layout, which that's kind of cool. And when it comes to Spyderco, that's what people love. I mean, there's people who have 1 million PM2s. Like, go check out the, what is it called? The Millie PM2 Para 3 Club on Facebook. I'm in that group. Shout out to Jake at Bearded Gear. He's a new moderator over there. They have a lot of fun in that group. And I'm not a big Spyderco guy, so, you know, when it's about generic stuff, you know, I join in, but, you know, I don't really get into the Spyderco things. But there's people with collections of Manix 2s. They have 12 different ones, you know. And you know how the whole sprint game goes with Spyderco, so I don't need to tell you. So we talked about the ergos, right? The ergos are good on this knife, regardless of which one. They're the same. We talked about the aesthetics. I'm a pretty big fan, other than this crazy jimping and the lanyard hole and really the clip. But that's all stuff you can mod out on a Spyderco, and I basically expect to mod my knife if I get a Spyderco. Now, the biggest thing here is the action, guys. That's my issue with this knife. So here is the lightweight. It's hard to flick out. Like, I'm really giving it a lot to get that out. If I just do a normal, like, flick, it doesn't shoot all the way out. I have to really ramp up on that and kick it. And even then, you know, I have to wrist it, basically. Okay. There. Spidey flick, same thing. You know, I'm sure some people are better at this than I am, but this is me talking. And then when you go to close it, this ball bearing lock is super stiff. So it's just tough to grip, and then it doesn't drop, right? The knife doesn't drop. You have to throw it down. So not only do I have to deal with this, I then have to chuck the knife down. And it's just not fun to me. Like, I would much rather just have an axis lock. And maybe I'm just used to the axis lock. Oh, man. Just going back to this right now is like, it's just like butter. I mean, it just feels so much smoother to use it. It's weird using thumb studs. Or here is the Nomad from Asher. Same thing. This one's even better, honestly. And I've kind of gotten away from axis locks, but it's nice to have a couple and go back to them every once in a while. But yeah, this ball bearing lock just is not my favorite. And my hand just slips, you know, the knife slips out of my palm. This one's a little bit better. And again, I've heard that the regular version is a little bit better. And I mean, it's the same on the deployment. You know, you have to give it a good amount to get it out. The disengagement on this one, it's hard to really judge left-handed because I can't get a good grip. Right-handed, this one drops a lot better. See that? But it's still a stiff lock. It still has lock stick. Here, I'll let you listen. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. This lock is just not for me, guys. And they don't use it on many knives, so I kind of think that people agree. I don't know. The Manix 2 is really popular, but so what I end up doing with this knife is slow rolling it out like this. This is how I deploy the knife, you know. And then I do the lock and I shake it, right? Now that time it looked like it fell. No. So that's kind of how I deploy the knife now. I don't even try to flick it because it's just not fun. Slow rolling it is just easier. And I think that's why a lot of people like Spydercos. A lot of Spyderco fans like to slow roll their knives out. At least that I've noticed. And because they don't really have good detents, like, or any detent. Like, it's not a traditional detent. Especially on this one. But on the compression lock ones, it's different as well. Like, it's just it's always very light to me, the detents. But yeah, so the action is the hang up on this one for me, guys. The carry's not bad. They both go in and out of pocket. You know, Spyderco, they give you this flat landing spot. Like, it's always good stuff there. I don't like the spoon clip, but it works. So yeah, cutting-wise, this is a good cutter, guys. I mean, you have a good leaf-shaped blade, full flat grind, comes down to a pretty thin edge, and it slices paper very well. You saw me open a box with this guy when I first got it, and it worked pretty well. Didn't really have any issues. So, I mean, it's a good edge on here. It's a good grind they put on it. That one particularly, this one's not as good on the Maximum. Well, yeah, they're pretty much the same. This Maximum is really nice, guys. It's very smooth on that. Let me check this one. Yeah, so this one's a little bit rougher, and this Maximum is very smooth. Feels really good, guys. I really do want to get a Maximum knife to kind of just keep as a user and just abuse the crap out of it. So I'll eventually do that. So, yeah, in terms of value, you know, that's another thing with the Manix series. You can get the lightweights, I think, for around 112 bucks, if I'm not mistaken. 120 maybe. And they come in different variations. They have the sprint runs. The Rex 45 one's very popular. I just saw the Crew Wear and Purple drop. So there's all different ones. Obviously, this Maximum, and there's just the regular one. That's the one that's, you know, I think 112 bucks. And then the sprint runs are kind of like, what, 130, 140. The regular version, I'm not sure what the pricing is on these. I would probably assume you got to tack on 30 bucks. It's usually what they do to give you a G10 and full liners, that kind of thing. So my guess is 140, 150 for this guy. Now this one has carbon fiber, but for G10 and S30, that's my guess. And, you know, that's okay. This day and age, you can get a lot of knives for that kind of money. and I would just tend to go for one of those knives as opposed to these. But I'm really glad I got to check out the Manix 2 because I really was interested in it. I had never checked one out, and I'm really enjoying going through some more Spydercos recently. And I really appreciate Frankie and Kyle for sending these to me, guys. You know, this knife didn't turn out to be for me, but I do see why people really, really like the Manix 2. If you can deal with this lock, and I've heard it breaks in really nice and all that good stuff, but I have two of them here with different use case, and they feel pretty similar, and they're just as tight, and yeah, this one actually is starting to feel better than this one now, and it was the opposite. So, you know, I'm sure this will break in really nice, and Frankie's going to have a really good knife to work with. He is a working man, so he'll have a good knife by his side. So, yeah, that is the Spyderco Manix 2, guys. Appreciate you listening to me rant and rave as usual. I hope you have a fantastic night, and I will catch you later.